Good morning and welcome to the area Securities Markets Update. Beginning with the Asian session today, a few economic figures were released from Japan, Australia and New Zealand, which had a limited impact on the markets as all eyes are headed toward the FOMC meeting minutes later tonight. In Japan, trade balance deficit narrowed less than expected to minus 0.84 trillion yen in April, down from minus 1.63 trillion yen in March, while it had been anticipated to narrow to minus 0.6 trillion yen. In Australia, Westpac's consumer sentiment declined by 6.8% in May after a rise of 0.3% in April. And finally, in New Zealand, credit card spending eased back to 3.2% in April after a rise of 7.6% in March. Despite these figures, currency pairs continue to trade within a tight range since the beginning of the week, again as all eyes are headed toward the FOMC meeting minutes later tonight. Going forward to the European session today, there are a collection of economic figures and events will be released which may have a notable impact on the markets. Beginning with the Eurozone current account deficit, which is expected to rise to current account surplus, which is expected to rise to 24.2 billion euros in March, up from 21.9 billion euro in February. Also in the Eurozone, consumer confidence is expected to come in at -8 in April compared to -9 in March. And in the UK, the MPC meeting minutes will be released at 8:30 this morning GMT time, with no changes expected in the committee's vote to keep interest rates and the asset purchases facility on hold. In the UK also, retail sales is expected to rise slightly by 0.4% in April after a rise of 0.1% in late March. GBPUSD or the cable showed a choppy trading since the beginning of the week, reaching as high as 1.6836 yesterday on inflation figures, while the factory inputs, which declined suddenly by 1.1%, capped the current gains. However, better than expected retail sales today may lead to further gains today and may retest yesterday's high at 1.6836, while the break above that resistance may clear the way for further gains above 1.69. The euro also and continued to stabilize above its short-term trend line support, with no clear break below that support so far, which stand at 1.37, while the technical indicators are rising gradually, which suggest another upside move toward its 100-day moving average, which stands right now at 1.3740. Going forward to the U.S. session today, there is no economic releases from the U.S. or Canada today, while all eyes will be on some Fed speakers today, in addition to the FOMC meeting minutes, which will be released at 18 GMT time at night. This is it for today. You can follow us on our social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to get the latest economic releases, reports, and analysis. Thank you for watching.